Good morning, lovelies. It is Check-in with Kevin at 7, and we're going to talk about expectations this morning. So I am going to dive right in. There are a lot of things happening right now that are loosening some of our shelter in place, stay at home, right? To help us have some more freedoms and let us go back to some of our places that we frequent pretty often. And so in that, there'll be a lot of assumptions made, and I probably should talk to you a little bit about assumptions as well. And so let me get to that right after we talk about expectations. Do you ever find that you were frustrated after your expectations weren't met, but you actually weren't even aware beforehand that you had those expectations? I thought this was going to go this way, but you even didn't have a conversation with yourself beforehand, let alone the other person that you're frustrated with. Well, this tool is going to help you as we transition into greater freedoms and returning to old rhythms, if you like, at least to some degree. Expectations, we all have them. They're not bad necessarily, although somewhere along the line I picked up this thought: unmet expectations are predetermined resentments. Unmet expectations are predetermined resentments. So let me just help you address your expectations, become more aware of them yourself, give you a vehicle in which you can communicate them to the people that you're doing life with. And that will decrease conflict, increase self-awareness, and hopefully increase communication and connection with the people that you love and that you live with and that you have to do life with. So the first one is that I need to be clear on my own expectations. All right. We could also put here conscious. All right. Conscious. I think there's an I in there. If there's not an I in there, we'll go with that's how they spell it in Ireland. Okay. Conscious. If I'm not even aware of what I'm hoping to experience, then what hope do I have of having other people be aware of hoping to experience? So to get off the blocks, number one is that I'm aware or conscious or clear in my own head of what it is that I'm hoping to experience, what I'm hoping this evening to look like, what I'm hoping this event to look like. I tend to be, not all the time, I'm going to tell you this, but I tend to be the more extrovert in my relationship with my bride, and Deb tends to be the more introvert person. I wouldn't tell you, she's phenomenal socially, in social conversation, etc. But generally, that tends to be the way. And I remember just, years ago, but it just sticks out in my head. You know, we'd go to an event, we'd go to a social gathering, we'd go to a party or whatever, and I would be flitting about here, there, and everywhere, and I just remember there would be some of those times where maybe I'd know people more or whatever, and I wasn't sensitive, or I wasn't considerate. There's the word. I wasn't considerate or considerate enough. And so one of our deals was, hey, when we go into a party, don't leave me. Like, bring me, not bring me with you, right? This, but you get the idea, right? Don't just leave me stranded. I don't know these people, whatever. Like that's speaking expectations. That's, hey, if it's not working for you, it's not working for me. That's the deal with team. That's a story for another day, but it's a great little nugget to take away from. If you're in a relationship with somebody else, then you're a team. You either win or you lose. There's no such thing as winning for one and losing for the other. There's either you win or you lose. And how do you experience more win-wins? That's what I'm talking about, expectations to help you with. We have a win-win tool. That's for another day. But for right now, I need to be clear and conscious on what I'm hoping to experience from the event. Second is not in order of cars, which is the acrostic that you're going to use for this, but the second is that I need to speak what my expectations are, or what my expectation is. Yeah? And that's the first thought, right? Am I speaking my expectations? Yeah, because if I'm not speaking my expectations to the person that I have expectations of, or that's in this experience with me, then they're not mind readers. You know, it's not just the ladies that say, well, he should just know. There's plenty of lads who's told me, well, she should just know. She should know. No, they're not going to know. And even if you said it like a long time ago, they've probably forgotten. So you want to have healthy expectations. You want to have process your expectations in a way to decrease conflict, increase awareness, and increase connection. Speak them. All right? Sometimes when you are speaking your expectations, they sound phenomenal in your head. Like, they sound clear in your head. They sound sensible in your head, reasonable even in your head. When you speak them, all of a sudden, well, what do you mean? It's not okay to think that we're going to stay here past midnight until 1 a.m. when you have to be up at 5:30 for work. See, in our heads sometimes, some of our more than others, some of our expectations sound like they make sense, but even for ourselves, when we hear ourselves speak our expectations, that's when what's taken out of, like, not in a bad way, but what's taken out of the darkness and brought into the light becomes clearer. And you can actually even edit on the way out, you know? Like, oh, I just heard myself say that. That's a little bit too much to ask. I'm just realizing that right now. Let me edit that. And you can make it maybe a little bit more realistic. Hey, would you be okay for this time to spend here, and we'll be shooting to leave, you know, around then instead? Would that work? Will you get enough sleep? Will, you know, are you cool with that, right? And again, you're shooting for a win-win there. So realistic. And then the last part is that there is agreement with the person or the people that you have an expectation of, that they give you the thumbs up. It's not about permission. It is about cooperation. And that, my friends, is really important. Now, I will say one other caution to you. And then one other caution is this, is that though cars is a fantastic acrostic, it is not to be used as a weapon to beat the other person over the head with, okay? It is a guide to help you and I get clear on our expectations, speak them, be intentional about speaking them to the person that we're doing life with and that we have expectations of. Be open enough to accept whether they're realistic or not. And if the other person says that they're not realistic and you're doing life with them, well, then your challenge is to accept their perspective as opposed to forcing yours on top of them. Because whatever we force is usually flesh. And there's only two ways to live this life: either in dependence on the Spirit of God that's within you if you are a child of His, or independence on yourself, doing life independent of God, trying to make life work the best way you can with what you have. And usually, frankly, it doesn't profit jack squat. You'll find that in John chapter 6, verse 63. The flesh profits nothing. When I try to make life work independent of God, it will not pay off for me in the end, even if it appears to be in the moment. And so do not use this as a stick. Do not use this as a law weapon in relationship and in communication with others. That is my encouragement for you today. Use it as a guide. Use it as an aid. This is a tool. Let the tool work for you. You do not work for the tool. But there are some really just good guidelines to keep you on the straight and narrow and not have you end up in the ditch, as the fellow says. So that is my check-in with you this morning. Please do comment on your social media platform that you found me on this morning, and make sure whatever you do, go to bit.ly BCI B Day, right? In capitals, capital B, capital C, capital I, capital B, capital D, AY, and make sure that you are entered for our giveaway up to $500 or over $500 actually in prizes that they are giving away. If we can be a support and be a help to you or to yours, please give us a call at 800-910-5060. And myself and my team would be delighted to be a support to you and to yours, or send us an email to info@brokenchainsintl.com. I trust this morning has been helpful to you and that your mental health checkup for the day is checked off and you are good to get going. Let me also just say, yeah, I think that's it. I think the birthday check-in is what I wanted to just remind you about, not the birthday check-in, but the birthday giveaway. bit.ly/capital BCI. And I'd probably put a link in the notes to our birthday fundraiser as well. I think yesterday we were really close if we didn't just meet the matching gift, but we still have a ways to go to meet our goal. I still am enjoying my birthday balloons, and thank you for all of you who did wish me a happy birthday. So grateful for you, and for those who've already given to the birthday fundraiser, we're incredibly grateful for you. If you can't give it this time, we understand. Everybody's not in the same position, and so we just want to, we want you to have an opportunity to receive too, and so we want to bless you and pour into you and be a support to you. And so as you transition, you need some help with expectations, call me or my team at 800-910-5060, and we will get you scheduled in. We are having in-office sessions and phone and video as well. So have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. God bless. Until tomorrow at 7. See you then. Bye.